What up, body bags? BDG Reviews here. We're back with another year week. The year we're in question this year is 1997. So it's quite a good choice of things to go with this month. But I decided to go with the 1997 Japanese movie Parasite Eve. Now I would hold up the DVD. I can't find my DVD anywhere, so I'll hold up the book. Parasite Eve. Yeah. Um, if you're familiar with the video game Parasite Eve for the PlayStation and the sequel Parasite Eve 2, they're both sequels to the novel, which is the movie is the same as the novel. Okay, so the movie is the film version of the novel. It's pretty it's quite, what's the word I'm looking for? They go hand in hand. There's not a lot left out from one to the other. You know, they're pretty much the same story. So if you watch the Parasite Eve movie, it's pretty much like reading the book. It's the exact same story. You know, it's like a literal translation. Um, the movie itself is actually, it's a movie that, how can I put this? It's a lot better than people realize because everyone was so hyped up about the movie The Ring that they completely overlooked Parasite Eve. It follows this. I'm going to keep looking back at the screen here because I got the synopsis. I don't want to go too far in the. You know how it is. I don't want to do any major spoilers or whatever. So I just want to go with what they got here. So the gist of it is you got this doctor, and he's studying mitochondria, you know, the quote-unquote powerhouse of the cells or whatever. And his wife comes to see him, it's like their anniversary. He's totally forgot. She leaves and ends up getting into a car accident and ends up brain dead. So another doctor comes to him and says, you know, she's like an organ donor. We want to give her kidneys to this little girl. So he agrees with the condition that he gets to keep her liver, which is kind of weird. But you know, he's like a bit of a weird guy. He's a doctor. He's looking at this. He ends up discovering that like the mitochondria in her liver are sentient, and as a result, the mitochondria in the kidneys are sentient, and they're trying to essentially be reborn as like a new being. I'll leave it at that for the synopsis. Honestly, it was pretty good. I mean, I had the misfortune, I guess you could say, of seeing this movie after I'd played the games. You know, so you've played two games with like the same characters in it and the same recurring things, and then you see the movie and you read the source material, and it's literally something like talked about in passing in the game is in the movie. But so it was a bit iffy for me the first time I saw it, but I've grown to really enjoy it. It's a very underrated movie. I mean, I can't help but think if this and Ring had been like further apart in years, I don't know, maybe you'd be talking about Parasite Eve like people talk about Ring. Just saying. Acting's pretty decent all around from what I can tell. I've said before, I don't speak any other languages, so I just kind of have to go by what I'm seeing, and if it seems believable to me. You know, for all I know, they could be, hacking, like hacking it up, but it doesn't seem that way to me. Everything seems to be taken relatively seriously, and some pretty decent effects. They got this one part with this bird. I don't even know if it was like an effect or whether it was like, they just zoomed in on like an actual bird eating like a snail or something. I don't know, but it was kind of interesting looking, to say the least. I'll say that. All in all, for a rating, I give this 8 out of 10. This is one of the better of the early quote-unquote J-horror stuff, and I definitely recommend it. So if you can find a copy, I don't know how readily available it is anymore. I know for quite a while you could find it pretty cheap. So if you can find a copy, I definitely recommend it. It's worth watching. And if you find a copy of the book, it's definitely worth reading. Because it's just an interesting story. And it just works. So yeah, that's it for me. See you next time.